Okay, so here we are again. This is Tanya, and this is my husband Mike, and we're the ones that are moving. So we have had our pre-drywall meeting, which is what we have been waiting for, and we wanted to just talk a little bit about it, and then of course give some tips on what to do. So, Mike, could you tell us like everybody that came to our meeting?
Okay, was myself, you, our realtor, the project manager, and your father was
Hmm.
there.
Hmm. Because he's a carpenter and he's great. So, Mike, what was your reactions to the meeting?
I think, um, well, first and foremost, that I got there a little late and everything had started before I got there, so I didn't hear the spew that was going on there. But my first initial reaction was the amount of outlets that we had. They are enormous in every room. It's at least five, so it's I believe that's a good thing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, the second thing that I noticed was um, the venting for our AVHC was very. There was two ways that it was that they were planted. That some was in the floor that was giving in, and then there was an outtake and they were all up high. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Um, Third thing that I noticed was um, all of the venting that was in the bathrooms, which is a good thing. It's like just in case somebody goes and it's really unpleasant that these air things can vent out very quickly. So that's a good thing, and it was in every bathroom. So I really was appreciative of that. Um, also that just the way things were being set up and told to us, it looks like they're going to be working a lot quicker than we were
Hmm.
initially told. Um, when we were there, he made mention that the drywall was being delivered the next day, and they were going to be working all weekend. So that was a very pleasing thing to hear, and
And
I'm
I have not been out there to check. I thought
so
about it.
she says.
I thought about doing it, but I decided not to do that. I'm going to have some trust in the process.
Yeah, that's all right. I appreciate.
So,
I
so
don't think she was
was there
there.
anything else
So
that like you thought was important about? I mean, that struck you?
the venting for the dryer,
Hmm.
um,
Yeah, that was
because
interesting.
because it was because the setup for the washer and dryer was on the other side of the house. I had thought I saw the venting outside when we was walking around the building, and I'm saying, well, they told us that the venting was going to be. They told us that the washer and dryer was going to be over there. Why is this vent here? They told us that the venting for this is running all the way across the house underneath
Under, yeah.
underneath the floor and going out the door. I thought that was ingenious.
And I think just to bring some clarity to that, we bought a twin, that's like two houses together.
Hmm.
So the dryer, of course, is on the shared wall, which I thought was really clever too. I
Hmm.
I hadn't seen anything like that either. That was really neat. And the nice thing about that is that it leaves more room for windows. Like this place is like has a ton of windows, and
Hmm.
they just I think are just ingenious and really clever on how to get the most out of that space and to make it look
Hmm.
very open and feel airy. Um, Anything else you wanted to say?
Um. What did they call the the board for the water? What did they call? What was the name of that? There was a thing that they showed us when we went into the basement that electronically shuts off um,
Where there are water
where
valves.
the water
There's
valves are.
separate water valves for each water system. Like one for the dry, I mean, one
Right,
for the wash machine,
hmm,
one for the upstairs bathroom, one
right,
for the hallway bathroom.
hmm,
Yeah, I agree. That I can't remember the name of it, but it was like some sci-fi stuff. It had like 1,000 legs of tubes coming out of it,
uh-huh.
and I was like, "Oh my God, we're gonna mess some stuff up," you know. And he was like, "No, don't worry about it. If you got a flood, you hear water, use the main valve."
Hmm,
Like we live in an old house,
hmm,
so there is one shut-off valve, and it's like this, So that's what we were used to, not this thing that looked like Dr. Octavius. It was really weird. I was like, no,
That's funny.
please don't make me have to use that. I want to use the main shut-off valve.
Right,
So,
right.
technology wise, some of the things my dad said was that he was so surprised at all of the types of things that are considered standard.
Hmm,
They use a computer system to do all the trusses and make sure everything is setting up correctly, and can hold certain weights. And the water, of course, there's like a system for um, each device, each appliance. This might not be new to some people, but it's new to people who live in an old house.
yeah.
Okay. Um, and I feel like Michael, when I came in, I was awestruck again, which is the reason why I wanted to see this before I went in, because one, the house looked much bigger than I remembered. It just did.
Mhm.
And then there were tubes and HVAC and, vents and everywhere. And it was hard to keep my excitement and to also comprehend what this man was saying to me. And he was talking pretty fast. So before Mike got there, and our realtor, shout out to Jocelyn Thorpe, who was like the best. um we got a chance to look through and take like some really quick pictures. Like, that's the first thing I want to say. When you go to your pre-drywall meeting, take a ton of pictures. I took a
Yes.
picture of every receptacle, every switch, anything that looked like it had a whole lot of pipes coming out of it. I took pictures of it just for prosperity's sake. When somebody comes in later, because we have somebody that we have in mind that we want to put in some fans and some other things, and we want to be able to say, okay, well, it's here, it's here, it's here. You can drill in there. This is a truss. It's going to be there. And it'll make it easier for people to do work. And
Yes.
having heaven forbid something happens that needs to be fixed. You can easily find out where everything is.
Hmm.
So take pictures of everything, like take a ton of them, and then look again just so that you have an understanding of what he's saying. Also, know where your electrical box is, the water shut off. I took pictures of that. I know it sounds dumb. I took pictures of it anyway, just to remind me of what the man was saying about using the main shut off. Don't go over to the thing that has 10,000 legs and try to figure out which one, because you'll be stressed out.
Hmm.
Um, the other thing that I wanted to say, what were you thinking of something?
Yeah, yeah, it was. Um, this is a good time to take pictures of where your studs are going to be,
Yeah.
where the beams are going to be. So if you're hanging up a lot of pictures that you can basically just gauge where things are, and you can hang things with confidence instead of hanging things by guessing.
Mhm. Mhm. I should have, in hindsight, brought a measuring tape and measured in between. Like, and
Right,
then, because I'm one of those persons with a hammer, I'm gonna keep on tapping until I hear it.
right.
However, I probably could have easily done that if I had taken a measuring tape and wrote it out. But you live and you learn. I definitely won't be able to do it now because drywall is going up. other thing you want to bring up to your PM is the delivery date. Okay, now our PM, he had just coming off of medical leave, so he didn't have a good feel on when the delivery date. However, we paid very close attention to what his substitute, or the guy he had working in his place, said. And this was trying to connect the dots. Because we got all standards. The only thing extra we got was the stuff we had to get because it was a spec house. We had to get the rock, which is actually considered an option, and we had to get the three-piece rough end in the basement
Right.
because those were already built into the spec house. However, I'm really excited about it because that rock looks awesome, and now we're gonna have a three-piece bathroom in the basement when we're ready to put it together. So everything's standard. So that means no extra shenanigans. You should be able to come in and do everything and get them moving. Okay.
Mm.
So I wanted to talk about the steps that you should expect after they do the drywall. Let me see if I got my little. I don't have my little paper. However, I can pretty much give it. So the first thing you do after you have your pre-drywall meeting, they'll probably have insulation already in the wall. Insulation's in the wall. The next step is to put up the drywall and to mud it down. That's with the plastic stuff and the tape and what have you. That takes a couple of days to dry. The guy says they give them a max of 10 days to make sure everything's okay. The next step will be your trim, and that is your doors, the bottom of the floors. If you had the stuff up in the corners, all the good stuff. The internal trim would come next, and then there would be a priming paint. Okay, that is definitely going to be done so that everything could be put in place. The next things that'll happen is, and it may vary depending on your particular new construction, is flooring. He told us flooring. We're not getting hardwood floors, so this should be kind of easy. We're getting linoleum and a rug, okay? Linoleum and rug goes down, bam. They're putting all that stuff in. And hopefully, at the same time, the cabinets will be making their way in. That's the part that needs to be delivered. So the thing is, as long as cabinets are delivered on time, nothing else has to worry. You don't have to worry about anything else.
Yeah.
So floors go down, cabinets go in, then appliances, and then fixtures.
Right.
That all should take, they give it about 45 days. 45 days from the date of our drywall is October 30th. I'm just going to
Mm.
be standing on that. That's what it is. And the guy was like, "Well, I'm not sure if that's how long it's going to take." I was like, "Sir, let's not even play these games. I already know. I know how you guys work. I've been paying close attention, been stalking your guys. They're really good. This is going to be no problem." So I'm really excited. Mike is. I'm really glad that we had an opportunity to share this with my father, and to share this with you all. Because this process is what you consider your halfway point. Everything is going downhill after that. So when you get to that meeting, you can like go, whew, I can rest now. It's going downhill. So just make sure paying all your bills on time, save up your cash, put stuff away for furniture, start purging and packing, and you will be on your way. So thanks a lot for watching this video and checking us out. We'll talk to you later when we get to our walk-in. Bye.